Guys, we are very much grateful for the presence of the secretaries of the various ministries under the Nepal government. We're very much grateful and extend our deepest gratitude to their excellencies, the ambassadors of various diplomatic missions here in Nepal. Also grateful we are for the presence of the high government officials, high representatives of the government and non-government stakeholder entities. That also includes the diplomatic missions, development partners, investors, developers, also the high representatives from the private sector, the pool of experts, former leaderships and members of the Office of the Investment Board of Nepal, and the entire IBN family members. Also, we acknowledge the presence of the members from the press and our esteemed invitees who have taken out their very valuable time to spare with us as we reflect on the over 10 years of IBN's history here in Nepal. So that, ladies and gentlemen, as we extend our warmest welcome to all of you, please note that we are now awaiting the arrival of our high dignitaries, upon which we shall begin the major engagements. One more time, a request for all of you to kindly put your cellular devices in an inaudible mode throughout the proceedings inside the hall to ensure the smooth and uninterrupted proceedings herein. We very much appreciate your support. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending our warmest welcome to the Vice Chairman of the Investment Board of Nepal, Honorable Minister for Finance, Dr. Prakash Sharan Mahat, who has just joined us. And this is extending the Honorable Minister a very warm welcome. Thank you, sir. We are now awaiting the arrival of our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who will be joining us in about in a few moments. Thank you so much for bearing with us. I'll join you upon the arrival of the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you. Distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, may I announce the arrival of our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda. May I request all of you to rise for the national anthem.
Sayuthunga fulka हामी एउटै माला नेपाली सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली सायुथुङ्गा फुलका हामी एउटै माला नेपाली सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली प्रकृतिका कोटि कोटि सम्पदाको आचला वीरहरूका राजधानी स्वतन्त्र र अचल ज्ञान भूमि शान्ति भूमि तराई पहाड हिमाल अखण्ड यो प्यारो हाम्रो मातृभूमि नेपाल बहु जाति भाषा धर्म संस्कृति छन् विशाल अग्रगामी राष्ट्र हाम्रो जय जय नेपाल।
Dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and a very, very good morning. Namaste to all of you to this momentous occasion. Thank you one more time for your valued presence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are deeply, deeply honored to have in our midst the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda, who's also the chairman of the Investment Board of Nepal, along with our honorable ministers seated at the dais. May I, at the very outset, invite the Chief Executive Officer of the Investment Board of Nepal, Mr. Sushil Bhatta, to present a flower bouquet to our distinguished dignitaries as a gesture of welcome and gratitude for gracing us today in our big day. To the Right Honorable Prime Minister, according deepest gratitude for his great leadership and for gracing us today. To the Honorable Finance Minister, Dr. Prakash Sharan Mahat, as a gesture of warm welcome and gratitude. To the Honorable Minister for Energy, Commerce and Supplies, Mr. Shakti Bahadur Basnet, with deepest gratitude and appreciation. To the Honorable Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Mr. Ramesh Rijal, with deepest gratitude and appreciation. And last but not the least, Honorable Minister for Forest and Environment, Dr. Birendra Prasad Mahato. Thank you, sir. Also, we acknowledge one more time the presence of each and every one of you today for your valued presence, first and foremost, and secondly, for the great, great support that you have been extending to the IBN. Right Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Ministers, distinguished dignitaries and honored members of the audience, high government officials, their excellencies, high representatives of the government and non-government stakeholder entities, including from the diplomatic missions, development partners, investors and developers, also from the private sector, the pool of academia and experts, former leaderships of the IBN, as well as the entire family of IBN, esteemed invitees, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. September 2023 it is, and it's my distinct pleasure and privilege on behalf of IBN to be extending the warmest of welcome to all of you to this grand occasion as we gather here today to mark the 12th anniversary of the Investment Board of Nepal, an entity which has been playing an instrumental role in propelling our nation towards greater economic prosperity. Today's event, ladies and gentlemen, promises to be a remarkable one as we celebrate more than a decade of unwavering commitment to promoting and garnering private investments, executing transformative projects, and developing this institution into a true center of excellence for public-private partnerships. Within these 12 years, the IBN, as you have witnessed, has achieved significant milestones in successfully facilitating numerous investment projects, encouraging foreign direct investment, fostering closer collaboration between domestic and international stakeholders, and much more. What we derive from these very accomplishments and learnings of the past 12 years all but an outcome of the greater support, encouragement, enthusiasm, cooperation, collaboration, and cordiality of the larger stakeholder communities at all tiers. We're deeply, deeply honored to have each and every one of you amidst us today. And this anniversary program for us is just not a commemoration, but also a moment to reflect upon our journey so far and to chart out our visionary course for the future. Let us embark on this journey, ladies and gentlemen, together as we reflect, review, and celebrate our journey of 12 glorious years of fostering partnerships for economic prosperity, all in the service of nation and people. May I now invite on stage to extend the formal welcome remarks the Joint Secretary of the Office of Investment Board, Nepal, Mr. Amrit Lamsal.
Thank you very much. Namaste and good morning. Let me begin with the lines borrowed from 19th century American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I think these lines justify the rationale behind the establishment of the investment board back in 2011. Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Vice Chair of National Planning Commission, esteemed Chief Secretary and Member of Investment Board, respected Secretaries of Government of Nepal, Excellency Ambassadors and the Head of Missions and representatives of our development partner organizations, respected Presidents of FNCCI, CNI, NCC and other federations of private sector organizations, representatives from the bank and financial institutions, our valued investors, academia, distinguished guests and participants who have joined us today, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you all in this 12th anniversary celebration of Investment Board Nepal. On behalf of the Investment Board and on my own, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to Your Excellencies and the dignitaries for accepting our invitation and joining this special event today. In fact, every day needs to be celebrated. However, anniversaries are special moments to recollect our past memories and cherish them again. We together have successfully completed our journey of more than a decade, and today we are celebrating our 12th anniversary. We value all who are sharing this special day with us. This institution was established with the noble purpose of garnering private investment, including foreign direct investment in transformative infrastructure projects, thereby contributing to reducing financing gap in critical infrastructures. We would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the noble thoughts and deeds of the leaderships of IBN, because of whom we are at this stage now. Fortunately, we do have the former executive officers of Investment Board here with us today. We would like to take this opportunity to salute them from the core of our hearts for founding, nurturing, and steering this institution. Building a house from scratch is a hard job indeed. On this auspicious day, we also would like to acknowledge the valuable contributions of all the past and present employees of IBN and meaningful support from all the stakeholder agencies to enable this institution for achieving remarkable progress within a short period. Being a fast-track and nodal agency in garnering investment and managing large and transformative infrastructures related PPP project, IBN has approved 42 projects of about 9.6 billion USD till date. Guided by its strategic plan, IBN has been evolving as a PPP center of excellence and set its target to bring at least 10 billion USD investment and manage PPP projects of at least 6 billion USD, including others by 2025-2026. For realizing this, IBN has focused on 4 strategic pillars, that is project development and management, investment promotion, institution development, and coordination, collaboration, and partnership. Nepal is aspiring towards graduating from LDC category by 2026 and achieving sustainable development goals and middle income country status by 2030. In order to realize those lofty national targets, we require huge investment in the areas of our competitive advantage and in enhancing our productive capacity. We are going to convene Nepal Investment Summit in 2024. We will collaborate with you all concerned stakeholders for making this summit very successful. Taking the busy schedule of our dignitaries into account, we have tried to conclude this event in 1.5 hours. We do have a theme paper presentation by respected founding CEO of Investment Board Nepal, Mr. Radesh Panta. We do have video messages from the representatives of our development partners and valued investors. We are also going to facilitate the key personalities and institutions for their astounding contributions in achieving major milestones. We will conclude today's event with the remarks from our chief guests and dignitaries. Once again, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Right Honorable Prime Minister and the Chair of the Investment Board for his gracious presence today. Similarly, please let us allow to extend our sincere appreciation to Honorable Ministers, esteemed members of the Investment Board Nepal, respected secretaries of Government Nepal, Excellency Ambassadors, and head of the representatives of Development Partners Organization, CEOs and managing directors of our projects, presidents of federations of private sector organizations, representatives from banks and financial institutions, and distinguished participants for being a part of this special day. In fact, we are grateful to you for taking your time from your busy schedule and to help us in making 12th anniversary a memorable event. Finally, wish you again a very warm welcome. Please stay with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And this sets us just right to embark further on this auspicious occasion. It is an immense honor, ladies and gentlemen, to steer you all through to the chief formality of the occasion that we are here for. So please join me in humbly placing a request to our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda, to please do us the honor of lighting the traditional panas, which is placed towards the right of the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is marking the celebration of our past achievements and also setting a visionary course for the future. Thank you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for the honors of inaugurating the 12th anniversary celebrations, as well as for helping the tone set for a visionary course ahead for all of us. And we just get ready now for the unveiling of our 12th anniversary celebrations logo, for which a remote will be presented to our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister. I request the Right Honorable Prime Minister to kindly unveil the 12th anniversary logo by pressing the remote control. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the new logo which sets a new course, a visionary course for the IBN and its stakeholders to bolster Nepal's position as an attractive destination for investment and growth. And this is again thanking all of you for the great support that you have been. As part of today's proceedings, we will now witness, ladies and gentlemen, as said earlier, the presentation of a theme paper that outlines our vision, aspirations, and strategic direction for the years ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our distinguished presenter, who served the IBN as its first CEO and who's credited for playing an instrumental role in institutionalizing the Office of the Investment Board of Nepal. Currently, he is the chairman and managing director at VRock and Company Private Limited, a Nepal-based consulting and advisory firm. Please welcome on stage Mr. Radhesh Pant.
Thank you very much. Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Chairman of the Board, Vice Chair, Honorable Finance Minister, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Vice Chairman of the Planning Commission, Chief Secretary, Governor Sam, CEO of the Investment Board, the Secretaries of the Government, Your Excellencies, members of the development partners, missions, private sector leaders, the Investment Board office family, reporters, and distinguished guests. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor for me to be here amidst you today. Basically, 12 years ago, after a decade long of conflict, and of course, right when the country became a republic, there was a lot of expectations, and of course, the one thing that Nepal wanted was to come up with extreme increase in the investments, especially to transform the economic development of Nepal. So under the Prime Minister, at that point in time, Investment Board Nepal was established with a lot of power, and that's when I had joined also. And it was basically to be autonomous and non-political, commercial, and really a commercial face for the Nepal government. It was like a professional institution whereby it was doing business for Nepal, the government of Nepal and the Nepalese people. Now, 12 years is a major milestone for Investment Board, because I remember 12 years ago, the first office I had was one small office on the ground floor of this building. And now, as you can see, it's a huge institution, has a great property. Hopefully that can become Investment Board's property, I think, because that's what we had envisioned, and that's what we should envision for in the future, because that's how you can attract private investment. But having said that, our celebration today is not just so much a festivity, but it's a solemn occasion to reflect on those vision and ideals. Also a moment to look ahead, because there are a lot of challenges. The world is changing. The landscape, investment landscape, is enormously changing, and there's a lot of competition. So we established it to be the investment destination, develop transformative projects, have a one-window service, and become a PPP Center of Excellence. Now, what I'd like to do is, what I thought was, how do we compare then? I mean, of course, in the media, you see that Investment Board is not really doing its job, or, there's a lot of criticism that comes about also. What I thought is, to be fair, let's compare with few countries, two countries, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. If you look at that, if you look at the chart, Bangladesh established their investment board in 1989. Sri Lanka was 1979. And it took them almost 20, 30 years to really, after a lot of changes in their act, laws, it took them that many years to really come up with cross the $1 billion mark. So Nepal currently, it is 12 years. We have crossed $200 million mark, I think, because of, the COVID and all. There's been an impact, but I'm sure it's not that bad. The other thing to look at also is it's an evolution. We cannot expect Investment Board to actually, perform just by itself within a year or 2 years, because what Investment Board is all about is it's Nepal's project. What Investment Board is all about, it represents the country Nepal, and not just a board, which means that, everyone involved, the ministries, the bureaucracy, the private sector, I mean, we all need to support investment board if we really want investment. An institution just cannot do it by itself. So that's where I think we need to do a lot of work, and that's where we need to have patience and persistence. The other is adaptation and innovation. As you can see, the act is changed. The other has been restructured and all that. So definitely we need to adapt to changes. That's why we also had a change in 2019. And third, and most important, is the commitment. As I don't want to get into details, I don't have the kind of time, but if you look at the two boards, they're really committed, very high-powered board. Not only that, they're so high-powered that they can, in some cases, they can even make laws. So that's what the investment board was. But now, let's talk about where investment board is now. I mean, a lot of this is not communicated, I'm sure, to the general public. But right now, investment approval of over 9.3 billion for 42 projects have been made by the investment board. Over $3 billion projects under implementation. There is in order for action to come, there has to be policies and procedures. So guideline mechanism have been built around investment board. And then there is also, for investment promotion, 3 international conferences was organized. For institutional development, the IBN fund was established. There is a 5-year strategic plan and developed, and web portals to help the investors and the officials. And finally, there's a lot of cooperation. I think, behind the walls is always a cooperation, otherwise nothing would move forward between the political parties, with the political parties, the government, development parties, development partners, and professional groups, and so on. So if you look at it, there has been a lot of activities that have been positive for investment board. And one thing we must understand, whatever investment board is working is not investment board's project. Like I said before, it's the government's, it's the people of Nepal's project. Now let's see, just as I showed you the chart of Sri Lanka, let's look at Nepal, FDIs in Nepal. If you look at for the last 30 years, there actually was no FDI. If you look at from the 1980s to, and boom, after, 2010, after 2011, when the investment board was established, then you're seeing the FDI going up. And the highs and lows are because of the COVID and other things that happened. It was also because of the earthquake and so forth. Now for this, the key drivers are, the political and government support. Without that, this wouldn't have been possible. And I must mention that unwavering support of UK aid since 2012. They've been around helping the investment board since 2012, and also technical assistance of partners. And of course, at the end of the day, we have to give credit to the tenacity, determination, dedication of investment board and the office. Now, where do we go from here? Because one thing is, so what are the challenges? Where do we go on from here? And basically, 12 years of mandate is, as the experience that we have had is that question that we always get is IBN still one window or another window? It was a talk at that time also. I think we really need to focus on that, because we have to compete, like I said, with other countries in order to actually build a one-window shop. It doesn't have to be physically, but whatever the IBN board decides needs to be implemented. You cannot have IBN be responsible for all the implementation when, as a matter of fact, the ministries and the other institutions are basically making those decisions. The second is, I think, the project pipeline development. We talk a lot about, and we hear a lot about the DFIs and others. They want to invest in Nepal. Naturally, there has to be projects. I do not see really well curated projects in Nepal even now. So the DFIs should invest more on actually curating, transformational projects in different sectors and actually helping enhance the capacity of the investment board and in country in general in order to do that. And the last is, basically, I think the institutional sustainability, and this is the key for the investment board. Even currently, investment board does not have full-time staff. There are secondment from the government and there are consultants. So we are talking about signing 30, 40 years contracts, $1 billion worth with private sectors. Now, who's going to really regulate those? Who's going to look after those contracts? There has to be some kind of institutional memory. Otherwise, without that, there's going to be a lot of risk for the government of Nepal. And in order to do these, number one, I think HR sustainability is the key criteria. There has to be changes to the act. And secondly, the financially also, it has to be sustainable. Because in most of the investment boards in the world, they earn their money from the fees, and they have to run it by themselves. And they are, like I said, a private sector, very, a commercial face of the government. They have to act like a private sector to deal with private sector. So without this, I think it's a high time we make these changes. And I think right now, when the capital is so much required for the economy, this can really be a source of capital for development of Nepal, and we really have to work on this for the development of the country. So I'd lastly like to thank the IBN and CEO on this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this invaluable sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed partners, investors, and collaborators have been instrumental in our pursuit. And we take a moment now to celebrate the enduring partnerships as we continue our journey through this momentous celebration. It's our pleasure to present a series of testimonials now in audiovisual format from our invaluable stakeholders, which offer us a unique insight into the collaborative efforts that have shaped the success story of IBN, beginning first with our development partner.
Namaste, and congratulations to my dear colleagues as we celebrate the 12th anniversary of Investment Board Nepal. The World Bank is proud to be a trusted partner of IBN through these years and in Nepal's development for more than half a century. I applaud the government's concerted efforts and key steps taken to reform the FDI entry regime in Nepal. We're making steps. We still have a long way to go, but we need to do it together. These include reducing the minimum FDI threshold, proposing to use an automatic approval process for foreign investments under 500 million rupees in selected sectors, and removing the minimum FDI threshold for the ICT sector. The government's focus on economic growth and reform efforts to attract, facilitate, and promote investment, including FDI and PPPs, are indeed noteworthy. We encourage a coordinated, all-of-government approach to these challenges, and we stand ready to work with you on this. This is all the more important as Nepal pivots to a development pathway that is green, resilient, and inclusive to spur green growth and sustainable development for the benefit of all Nepalis. The World Bank will be a steadfast partner in Nepal's grid agenda and stands committed to help operationalize this vision. Thank you, and again, congratulations.
That was a representative insight from among our development partners. Now we steer you through to the insights of our investors whose experience shed light on the transformative power of the public-private partnerships and the positive impacts that they have had on our nation's development.
I would like to thank Shri Sushil Bhatta, CEO IBN, for providing this opportunity to share my thoughts with August gathering. SJVN has started its Nepal project way back in 2008 by signing MOU of Arun 3 hydroelectric project. And since then we moved a long way. As of date, SJVN is developing 3 hydro projects of 2200 megawatt. In last 12 years, IBN has been instrumental in infrastructure development of Nepal. IBN, being a single window of all FDI investors, has facilitated the streamlining approval process, formulating different laws and regulation to improve the ease of doing business in Nepal. The Public-Private Partnership and Investment Act approval of 2019 is one of the such major initiatives. SJVN Limited has been working in a close association with IBN for past 12 years, and whenever there are issues, same has been addressed by IBN proactively. The support provided by IBN for the import of construction material, machinery, plant, equipment, remittance of the payment to the foreign suppliers, and coordination with different stakeholders, approvals extra in a time-bound manner are exemplary. The progress achieved by SJVN in Arun 3 could not have been possible without the hand-holding of IBN. The approval of the detailed project report of Lower Arun hydroelectric project granted by IBN under the dynamic leadership of Right Honorable Prime Minister Shri Prachandji in a record time of 3 months, and conclusion of PDA and its signing are few such examples, which itself demonstrates the capacity, competency and speed at which IBN can deliver. SJVN is developing almost 56,000 megawatt of the power projects in the field of hydro, solar, wind, thermal in India and other countries, out of which 2200 megawatt of hydro projects are in Nepal only. I would like to confirm, which has been told by our worthy chairman in past, that SJVN is committed to generate at least 5,000 megawatt of hydro project in Nepal by 2030. On this occasion, I would like to suggest that IBN should be empowered to act as an infrastructure authority, which should be in a position to grant different licenses, approvals, apart from facilitating the FDI investors. A long-term power trade has jointly been agreed by India and Nepal during the visit of Right Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal to India in May. During this occasion, the Honorable Prime Minister of India has mentioned that the target of importing 10,000 megawatt of electricity from Nepal in coming years has been set. However, to meet that requirement, to complete that work, the land acquisition and ROW issues are being a major bottleneck and are delaying and will be delaying the ongoing projects. As such, I request that all necessary regulation of transmission line infrastructure need to be framed at the earliest to achieve this ambitious target together. Thank you.
Respected Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushp Kamal Dahalji, bureaucrats, all other invited guests, including media friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and namaste to all of you. On behalf of GMR Group, I would like to convey my heartiest congratulations to IBN for their 12th anniversary being organized today. IBN has undoubtedly played an instrumental role in making Nepal an investment destination with the ultimate objective of ensuring long-term sustainable social and economic development of the country. GMR Group is a leading infrastructure conglomerate with interest in airport, energy, transportation and urban infrastructure. GMR Group, through its special SPV GMR Upper Karnali Hydropower Limited and Karnali Transmission Company Private Limited has its footprints in Nepal for the development and implementation of 900 megawatt Upper Karnali Hydropower Project. Upper Karnali Hydropower Project is a large flagship export-oriented project having high visibility and is closely followed by all the stakeholders and international investors and lenders communities. GMR Group, after going through all hardship, pain and challenges shown by GMR and with full support from National Board of Nepal, including state and central level, we have been able to reach as the stage where this project now has been positioned as an first world tri-nation project having supply of power from Nepal to Bangladesh. With the efforts being made by GMR on this project, international community and the lenders are looking Nepal as a valuable destination for investment in Nepal. Now we are reached at a stage where we have been able to finalize a power sale agreement for supply of 500 megawatt of power from Upper Karnali Hydropower Project to Bangladesh. At a time when Nepal is looking to attract FDIs, particularly in the hydropower sector, and wants to sell its surplus power to the neighboring countries like India, Bangladesh, Bhutan. This power purchase agreement will open door for all the IPPs of Nepal to export power to its neighboring countries. We emphasize from our side GMR for timely commitments made to the government of Nepal to deliver this project. We wish all the success to IBN for this event and for all their upcoming future ventures. Thank you and namaste.
It's my extreme pleasure to be a part of this celebration of 12th Foundation Day of Investment Board of Nepal. As we all know that Investment Board of Nepal is a very significant organization who is pursuing the investments from abroad as well as the domestic also for the development of the country. I express my congratulations to the entire board of Investment Board of Nepal on this auspicious day, and Honorable Prime Minister of Nepal being the chairman of this board, I extend my regard and the good wishes for further success stories of Investment Board. I happened to meet Mr. Bhatta, the CEO of the board, when I visited Nepal last in April, and I found him a person who is always filled with enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, to pursue the objectives of the IBN, and the way he conducted the interactions with NHPC that time. I being the chairman of the NHPC, I really admire his courage, really admire his enthusiasm, and I think that this kind of approach of the CEO of Investment Board of Nepal would take this organization a lot further. As regards to the NHPC, we have already signed 2 MOUs for the development of 2 projects, that is West Sethi and SR6. And that also happened very quickly because we engaged into discussions about maybe a year and a half back, and about a year back we signed the MOU. So immediately after 4 or 5 months we signed the MOU, and after that many milestones for the development of these 2 projects were set in, and I am happy to share that because of the constant support of IBN, these 2 projects are going on very well. Investigations on both the projects have already started on the ground. So I really thank the IBN for their constant support on these 2 projects. We have also signed a joint venture agreement for the development of Phuket Karnali project with VUCL, and there also the support of IBN would be required as we go through the development of the project. A great role of this board in the development of Nepal, particularly in the hydropower sector, is essential, and I extend all my hearty congratulations and wishes for the board, and I see a great future with NHPC and IBN coming together for the development of hydropower sector in Nepal. Thank you.
I am Tae Hak Yoon, CEO of NWEDC, a developer of Upper Trishul 1 hydropower project, 216 megawatt in Rashua. Koen, as first Korean company investing in hydropower in Nepal, believe that Nepal should implement an effective one-stop solution approach for FDI project rather than involving multiple governmental organizations. I do suggest IBN make the FDI friendly consistent policy on currency hedging, repatriation, work permit visa. The physical progress of Yuetian as of now is almost 22%, with the expected COD set for the end of 2026. Following the successful completion of UT1, we are planning to undertake another hydropower project in Nepal. Thank you.
尊敬的普拉昌达先生、苏舍巴塔先生以及各位与会嘉宾，大家上午好，我是川德国际尼泊尔水电联合开发有投资公司董事长廖斌。首先，向尼泊尔 IBN 成立12周年表示祝贺，也感谢贵司邀请我参加此次周年庆。非常遗憾，我仅以这样的方式表示祝贺，再次向各位致以歉意，并向普拉昌达先生以及 IBN 的各位人士长期以来对公司的支持和帮助表示感谢。川德国际尼泊尔水电联合开发公司成立于2017年11月，其开发投资的马象迪河梯级水电站项目是川投集团首个走出去项目，也是迄今为止中资企业在营最大一笔电力投资，被四川省委省政府确立为“一带一路”标杆项目。该项目总投资约12亿美元，其中我们与尼泊尔投资委员会，就是 IBN 合作的上马象第2电站项目总投资约6.47亿美元，系该3级梯级电站中投资规模最大的一级。自公司成立以来， IBN 为我方在推动项目建设过程中提供了大量的支持和帮助，公司也积极响应了 IBN 的相关政策要求，双方在加速项目投建、优化经济指标、加强社会效益等诸多方面进行了充分沟通。今年是 IBN 成立12周年，也是共建“一带一路”倡议提出10周年。四川省政府主要领导于今年5月完成了对尼泊尔的访问，6月又迎来贵国副总理斯雷斯塔先生一行来川访问。这期间，我陪同川投集团公司董事长吴晓西先生全程参与，见证了中尼两国在“一带一路”构架下为推动项目发展和双方经济文化交流所做出的积极贡献。这标志着两国友谊合作迈上崭新台阶，项目进展取得实质性飞跃。虽然目前项目推进中还存在征地移民、中方员工工作许可、汇率风险分摊措施等方面的问题挑战，但基于双方前期的友好合作关系，我相信 IBN 在未来会一如既往的支持上马象第2项目，协助并加快推动项目开工建设。希望我们双方能以马象迪河梯级电站开发为契机，未来有更多领域的合作交流，也期望更多实力雄厚、信誉优良的尼泊尔能看到在尼泊尔的商业投资机会，助力中尼两国达成合作共赢的一致目标。最后，祝愿大家工作顺利，身体健康，预祝本次活动取得圆满成功。谢谢，再见。
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in fact overwhelmed and ever thankful for the greetings and the acclaims that have been received from our rich pool of investors, developers and partners. In the interest of the valuable time of us all, we could not accommodate the video audiovisuals in its entire length. We request you all to kindly check our website, the official website of the Investment Board of Nepal, to access the audiovisual in its full full length. And one more time, our deepest thank you to all the contributors and the investors and partners. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, as we bid to seek insights and experiences on IBN's journey of fostering national economic development, we cannot do without hearing from a key and steadfast partner whose support has been embedded with IBN's efforts since its inception and also in Nepal's journey towards economic progress. It is only fitting that we hear this sharing and insight at this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege and pleasure for me to be inviting His Excellency Rob Fenn, the Ambassador of the United Kingdom to Nepal.
Samananiya Pradhan Mantri Ju, Honorable Minister of Finance, Minister of Energy and Water Resources, Minister of Industry and Commerce, Minister of Forestry and Environment. I've had the honor to meet all of you, I think, in my very short time here, and I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm particularly honored to be given this opportunity to make some very brief remarks at this fantastic event. As you know, the UK have been partnering with IBN in various capacities since its inception. We've heard today some of the major milestones you have already achieved and which we have been proud to support. There have been challenges and we have faced them together to improve the sustainability and effectiveness of the institution you have built. We see this as a critical institution which facilitates much needed investment in Nepal. High quality foreign investment, partnering with Nepali business, can bring capital investment, but also skills and technology transfer, which is much needed to drive domestic growth and create jobs. The investment board can also make sure those investments protect the environment and safeguard the rights of communities affected by those investments. There is still a lot of work to do together, as Nepal remains a tough place for businesses to thrive and foreign investors to work. In our next phase of support through our Green Growth Nepal program, due to start next year, we're putting partnerships at the heart of the way we work. We'll be looking to work much more closely with many of you in the room here today. So, namaste sabaiharu. Ma tapaiसँग काम गर्न पाउँदा धेरै खुसी छु.
Dhanyavad to His Excellency, the Ambassador of the UK to Nepal. Thank you indeed for your very valuable words and support. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite the Honorable Minister for Finance, also the Vice Chairman of the IBN, Dr. Prakash Charan Mahat, to say a few words.
धन्यवाद. सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीज्यू, मन्त्रीज्यूहरू, सचिवज्यूहरू, राष्ट्रिय योजना आयोगका उपाध्यक्षज्यू, Excellencies, Chief of different missions stationed in Kathmandu, ladies and gentlemen. सर्वप्रथम त म नेपाल लगानी बोर्डको 12औं वर्षको स्थापना भएको 12औं वर्षको अवसरमा म लगानी बोर्डलाई बधाई दिन चाहन्छु, शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु र आउने दिनमा लगानी बोर्डलाई जुन सरकारले जिम्मेवारी दिएको छ त्यो जिम्मेवारीलाई अझ प्रभावकारी ढंगबाट लगानी बोर्डले आफ्नो जिम्मेवारी पूरा गर्नेछ. बढी भन्दा बढी लगानी नेपालमा भित्र्याउन कोशिश गर्नेछ. यो शुभकामना र विश्वास व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु. हाम्रो देश आर्थिक समस्याबाट विभिन्न कारणबाट गुज्रेको छ, तर राम्रो दिन आउँदैछ। त्यसको राम्रो सङ्केतहरू देखा पर्न थालेका छन्। त्यसको मतलब यो होइन कि हामी समस्या रहित भइसक्यौँ, त्यो होइन। समस्याहरू छन्, तर ती समस्याहरूलाई हटाउँदै आर्थिक वृद्धि बढाउने राम्रो अवसरहरू अब सुरु हुन्छ र त्यसका सङ्केतहरू देखिएका छन्। हाम्रो विदेशी मुद्राको सञ्चिति राम्रो छ। पर्यटक आगमन वृद्धि भइराखेको छ, त्यसले पनि आर्थिक गतिविधि बढाउँछ। हाइड्रो पावरमा एउटा प्रगति लय पक्रिराखेको छ र इन्डियासँगको जुन सम्झौता भएको छ 10,000 मेगावाटसम्म विद्युत खरिद गर्ने 10 वर्षमा, त्यसले लगानीकर्ताहरूलाई एउटा सुनिश्चित मार्केट प्रदान गरेको छ। त्यस्तै खाले समझदारी हामी चीनसँग पनि आगामी दिनमा हुन्छ भन्ने हामीले विश्वास लिएका छौँ। त्यसले थप एउटा बजार हाम्रो हाइड्रो पावरको जुन सम्भावना छ त्यो बजारलाई खोल्दछ भन्ने मलाई लागेको छ। हामी पहिला पर्यटकको कुरा गर्दा पश्चिमी देशहरूको पर्यटकको मात्रै हाम्रो दिमागमा आउँथ्यो अथवा जापानको हाम्रो दिमागमा आउँथ्यो। अहिले जुन हाम्रो छिमेकी देशहरू ग्रो गरिरहेछ, आर्थिक उन्नति प्रगति भइरहेको छ, त्यसले चाहिँ एउटा धेरै ठुलो सम्भावना टुरिज्ममा छ। तेस्रो सम्भावना हाम्रो यो एग्री सेक्टरमा पनि ठुलो सम्भावना छ। जुन हाम्रो टोपोग्राफी छ, भेराइट क्लाइमेट छ, त्यसले एउटा चाहिँ सहज वातावरण दिन्छ नेपालमा लगानी गर्ने र त्यसको बजार विदेशमा समेत प्राप्त गर्ने सम्भावना त्यसले दिएको छ। त्यस्तै गरेर अहिले आइटी सेक्टर इज ग्रोइङ र यङ्गेस्टर आवर यङ पिपुल आर कमिङ इन्टु इट एन्ड दे आर एक्सपोर्टिङ र यो चाहिँ बृहत सम्भावनाको क्षेत्र छ। त्यसमा मेजर इन्भेस्टरहरूलाई जुन विदेशका जुन स्थापित यो आइटी सेक्टरका कर्पोरेसन कम्पनीहरू छन् तिनीहरूलाई हामीले ल्याउन सक्नुपर्दछ र हामी चाँडै अब एउटा लगानी समिट पनि नेपालमा गर्छौँ। त्यसको लागि अब तत्कालै हामी यथेष्ट गृह कार्य पनि सुरु गर्छौँ, बजेटमा पनि हामीले बोलेका छौँ। त्यही म भन्दै अन्त्यमा फेरि पनि all those who are gathered here, excellencies and mission chiefs who are contributing in Nepal's development efforts, I like to thank on behalf of IBN and on behalf of Government of Nepal. There is a tremendous opportunity that is available in Nepal. Our investment laws is good. We are trying to make it even better. So, and there is a, I heard from Chief of World Bank here that this limit on foreign investment cap need to be removed. We'll look into that. We already said that in IT sector there should not be any limitation, capital requirement. We already did that in hydro sector, IT sector, agro sector, mines and minerals, industrial infrastructure and urban infrastructure. There are a lot of opportunities and Nepal is in a right track. We have our new constitution firmly in place. So we have legal provisions and whatever hurdles that may come, we are ready to address those hurdles. And before this investment summit takes place, we'll make sure that whatever grievances that may come or that you may have in your mind, we are ready to address those grievances. And in coming days, we like to see investment in all these sectors. And I also like to tell you that whoever have come to invest in Nepal, they have made good profit. whether it in communication sector, NCL is making good profit. Dabur, they are making good profit. Surya Tobacco, they are making good profit. Coca-Cola and all others, they are making good profit. In hydropower, because there's an assured market and we have power purchase agreement, so no problem in that. So I think there is a great potential not only to invest in Nepal, but also make money, because private sector will not come if they don't see profit. We know that. So I welcome to invest in Nepal, and as ambassadors and chief of the missions and people representing different investors organization station in Kathmandu, I urge you to spread these good words to other potential investors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, for this very optimistic speech wherein he shed light on the silver linings, potentials and possibilities, and the vehicles which could better the environment and ultimately attain the desired prosperity. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, today certainly is a day of celebrations, celebrations of relationship and celebration of accomplishment. Amidst this celebration, we want to take out a few moments to extend our felicitation to the esteemed individuals and entities who have rendered instrumental support in the very recent past to help the IBN and the government of Nepal achieve remarkable milestones. Before we proceed with the formality, please note that IBN has been extending felicitation as a gesture of gratitude and appreciation to its valued partners, investors, developers and stakeholders at various occasions and milestones. And we do look forward to many more opportunities in the days ahead. And said that, may I now turn back to our chief guest, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, to kindly step forward and do the honours of extending our felicitation marking the 12th anniversary celebrations program. Please note again, ladies and gentlemen, the felicitation today are being extended to individuals and entities contributing recently to IBN's efforts. First and foremost, a token of appreciation to Mr. Radhesh Pand, former CEO, Investment Board Nepal, for his contribution for the theme presentation on Investment Board Nepal and Way Forward at today's anniversary celebrations program. Secondly, to Standard Chartered Bank Nepal in appreciation of its valuable collaboration and partnership in successfully organizing the International Conference on Financing for Nepal held in Kathmandu on 12th of May 2023. May I invite Mr. Nandalal Sharma, Chairman and MD, SLA PDC Limited India, marking today's celebration in recognition of his valuable contribution to the development of energy sector in Nepal. This is marking the milestone of a PDA signature. We now take a moment to extend felicitation to the team of negotiators from IBN and beyond for the horrendous task they have successfully executed in commendation of the Herculean effort and the successful execution of the PDA signing of the Lower Arun hydroelectric project. First and foremost, Mr. Sushil Bhatta, as the coordinator of the team, the Chief Executive Officer of the Investment Board of Nepal, for the entire team's outstanding contribution in successfully leading the negotiation of project development agreement of Lower Arun hydroelectric project. Mr. Madhu Prasad Bhetwal, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation, in recognition for his outstanding contribution in successfully concluding the negotiation of the project development agreement of Lower Arun hydroelectric project. Likewise, Mr. Ritesh Kumar Shakya, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Finance. Mr. Phanendra Gautam, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs. Mr. Phanendra Gautam. Mr. Dhirendra Pradhan, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Forest and Environment, for the great support in successfully concluding the negotiation of the PDA. Mr. Amrit Lamsal, Joint Secretary, Office of the Investment Board, Nepal. Ms. Sangeeta Ojha, Joint Secretary, Office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Ms. Sangeeta Ojha, the Joint Secretary at the Office of Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Mr. Pradeep Kumar Thike, the Deputy Managing Director, Nepal Electricity Authority. And Mr. Semant Dahal, Advocate and Partner, Avinawa Law Chambers, for his great support in the successful negotiation of the PDA of Lower Arun Hydroelectric Project. Mr. Semant Dahal. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present our appreciation and felicitation for the outstanding dedication and service to staffers who have made their bit of contribution recently to the Office of Investment Board, Nepal. Mr. Tapendra Chand, Consultant, Office of the Investment Board, Nepal. Mr. Ramesh Adhikari. Mr. Ramesh Adhikari, Mr. Tapendra Chand and Mr. Akshit Raj Paudel, Consultant, Office of the Investment Board, Nepal. In presenting this in grateful appreciation of their outstanding dedication and service to the Office of Investment Board, Nepal. As we extend our congratulations and thank you to all the individuals, and as we extend our gratitude to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, to Akshit Raj Paudel, Mr. Akshit Raj Paudel, who's a Consultant, Office of the Investment Board of Nepal. As we thank the Right Honorable Prime Minister for doing the honors, may I now place my humble request on behalf of us all to the Right Honorable Prime Minister to address this forum.
Thank you. Very good afternoon and namaste to everybody. Honorable Ministers, Member of the Investment Board, Nepal, Secretary of the Government of Nepal, CEO of the Investment Board, Excellencies, Ambassador and distinguished participants. I am delighted to join with you today to celebrate the 12th anniversary of IBN. At the outset, let me express my gratitude to the members of IBN and its CEO for inviting me to this program. In the span of past 11 years, the IBN has played pivotal role in driving economic growth, building trust with the development partners, attracting investment and contributing to the national building initiatives. As we enter into new year, I am fully confident that the IBN will chart out a new course of action with the new spirit, determination and enthusiasm, excellencies, and distinguished participants. Beginning crisis, the government has determinedly pursuing its ambition to graduate from the status of LDCs by 2026. We are effortful to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal by 2030. We are effortful to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal by 2030. We have set an ambitious target to become a carbon neutral country by 2045. To achieve all this, we need huge investment. While going through the testimonials of developers, investors, and partners, I am happy with initiative taken by the IBN in building trust and development with development partners, reforming policies and instrumental mechanism. Despite the limited human and technical resources, IBN has been able to make some noticeable progress during the days. It is our topmost priority to improve investment climate in Nepal. The government is always committed to continuous improvement of the policies, laws, regulation, procedures, and institutional arrangement for strengthening business and investment environment. We will continuously work to increase private investment, including FDI, for economic development of the nation in an inclusive and sustainable manner. Since the adoption of liberal market economy in 1990, the government has been partnering with the private sector. The current 15th five-year plan has envisioned garnering more than half of total investment from the private sector, and we are in the last years of its implementation. While we are drafting the 16th periodic plan, the government of Nepal firmly believes that resource mobilization from both domestic and foreign private partners is crucial for national development. In line with the spirit of the Constitution, coordination and cooperation among all tiers of the government is indispensable for creating investment-friendly environment. We have been developing various tools and mechanisms to strengthen coherence within and among different levels of government. Hydropower, tourism, agriculture, ICT, among others, are our sector of comparative advantage. We have been practicing build one operate transfer both modality in few sectors. However, we need to develop transformative project through other new form of PPP. In this regard, I have instructed the entire team of IBN to take initiative toward this direction. On this very day, I would like to request all our valued potential investors to increase investment in Nepal. We value every investment, large or small, and we are committed to de-risking those investments. I assure all the investors and stakeholders that the Investment Board of Nepal, along with other concerned authorities, will offer you the best services. Nepal is an attractive investment destination and has a favorable investment climate, and the government is committed to effective hand-holding of our investment during the entire business life cycle. As all of you are well aware that last year we have already successfully organized the 3 tiers of election: local election, provincial election, and federal election in a very democratic way, in a very peaceful way. It has created a very peaceful and political stability, and we want to focus our whole attention in the economic building. Distinguished participants, before I conclude, I would like to highlight few points. Firstly, government is committed to ensure the policy improvement in terms of FDI and for effective handholding of the projects that are in the various stages of development, particularly in PPP model. I have directed all government mechanisms to provide prompt response to the developer. we must translate our continued commitment into action. And if there are any grievances of the developer, I have asked CEO IBN to report me, provide information, then I will immediately intervene. Chief Secretary is there to respond immediately to take required action for solving the problem. Please let him know. Secondly, government is seriously thinking to develop IBN as a fast-track agency with required skill set and human resources. We want IBN to be strengthened in terms of resources, capacities, and service delivery to valued investor. We have already mandated CEO to come up with concrete ideas for improvement. Thirdly, I highly value development partners, multilateral banks, and relevant partners for their support and contribution toward our development effort. In this regard, I would like to urge them to work with IBN closely to develop PPP sector in Nepal for increasing private sector participation in nation building. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, for your very, very valued remarks. Said that, ladies and gentlemen, we now come towards the very, very concluding moments of the celebrations program. May I now invite to the podium the CEO of the Investment Board of Nepal, Mr. Sushil Bhatta, for the concluding remarks.
Right Honorable Prime Minister and Chairperson of Investment Board Nepal, Honorable Finance Minister, Vice Chair of IBN, Honorable Minister Energy, Water, Resources and Irrigation, Honorable Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Honorable Minister for Forest and Environment, Honorable Vice Chairman, National Planning Commission, respected Secretary, Governor, IBN Board members and secretaries, Excellency Ambassadors, and Head of Diplomatic Missions and other representatives from United Nations, World Bank Group, Asian Development Bank, International Finance Corporation, FCDO, USAID, and JICA, and representatives from other development agencies, leaderships from FNCCI, CNI, and Chamber of Commerce, valued investors, government officials, and Office of the Investment Board team, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste and very good afternoon. First of all, I would like to express our humble gratitude to Right Honorable Prime Minister, Chairperson of IBN, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, valued investors, participants, for your gracious presence to mark the 12th anniversary of Investment Board Nepal. Investment Board Nepal has taken a new height in these glorious 12 years in terms of promoting and garnering private investment, executing projects, and developing institutions as a PPP Center of Excellence. And I am delighted to contribute these endeavors as part of the esteemed and very profound institution chaired by Right Honorable Prime Minister. Specifically, the implementation of IBN's first strategic plan backed by 5-year business plan has streamlined each activity undertaken by the institution in result-based framework. And so our projects also aligned into result-based framework. And it has been 12 successful years for IBN towards realization of 42 mega projects in different sectors as energy, mines and quarry, industrial infrastructure, cable car, and tourism, and which are for sure in different stages of development. IBN has approved an investment around USD 9.27 billion for 42 projects till today, and out of these projects, 28 projects along are in energy sector and 14 are in non-energy sectors. And on non-energy sector, to realize these projects, those legal, regulatory, and procedural frameworks are essential, so on which IBN is preparing itself to deliver those projects. IBN has presented a demonstrative effect in hydroelectricity development under the PPP framework for domestic consumption schemes and export propositions as well. Moreover, IBN has been effectively hand-holding around 4,000 megawatt of clean energy projects that are already aligned into result-based framework for timely implementation. Among the projects to be implemented is 669 megawatt Lower Arun, 740 megawatt West Seti, indicated capacity of 450 for SR6, 327 Upper Marsyangdi, 2 PROR hydropower projects. Further, following PDA signing of Lower Arun hydroelectric project, preparations have been arranged towards commencing its construction at earliest. And in the bid to amplify Nepal's renewable energy capacity, board has acknowledged the DFSR for the development of 250 megawatt solar energy project. Similarly, IBN has granted study rights permit to another project for preparing detailed feasibility study report for 245 megawatt of solar energy project located in Dang district. Likewise, the commercial operation of 6,000 tons per day and 3,000 tons per day TPD, that is tons per day capacity, Hongsi Sivam and Hwasin Cement Narayani plants respectively have a positive impact on advancing quality and competitive pricing in the Nepalese cement industry. The flagship hydropower project Arun 3 with 900 megawatt installed capacity is in advanced stage of construction. Additionally, the 900 megawatt of Upper Karnali hydroelectric project has reached the financial closure stage. IBN has been doing its best to lift the morale and confidence of the investor. To garner quality investment, IBN has been equally focusing on reach, retain, and regain approach for investment promotion. The reinvestment proposal of Dabur Nepal, the country's first generation FDI project, and 69 megawatt Lower Arun hydroelectric project, which increased investors' confidence for doing business in Nepal. But a few exemplary examples of a favorable investment climate in Nepal and increasing credibility of the institution IBN. We stress the need for effective coordination, collaboration, partnership between government and the private sector. We are collaborating with multilateral development banks, World Bank, ADB, CLDP, CLDP USA, USAID Urja Nepal for capacity building and technical assistance. To force new partnership, memorandum of understandings have been signed with UNDP, FNCCI and Nabil Bank, and a membership of WAP, World Association of Public-Private Partnership, was also obtained. IBN has been enhancing its capacity, and the leadership is determined to institutionalize the IBN as an ideal institution for investor with quality and fast-track services in its stage of project life cycle. A firm and systematic foundation has already been laid for IBN. However, we have to, as expressed by Right Honorable Prime Minister, we have to strengthen the Secretariat or the Office of the Investment Board with ensuring sustainability and capacity to expedite the facilitation process or effective hand-holding service rendering to our valued investors. And in this period of 12 years, 3 PDAs, power development agreements, and 2 PIAs are signed so far, and IBN has succeeded in generating hope and developed trust. Further, we have developed system and processes and streamlined the same in OIBN for fast-track facilitation of project from its development to implementation in active coordination and collaboration with relevant government instrumentalities. Similarly, project bank framework has also been developed to identify, select, and prioritize credible and bankable projects. The establishment of IBN fund and ONM survey are concrete steps taken for the sustainability of the institution. Other various initiatives for the system development and process improvement within the institution, like web-based one-stop service platform, knowledge management platform, project bank management information system, project monitoring dashboards, manuals, standard operating procedures and guidelines have been undertaken to make the institution more functional. IBN strategies to prepare better, to grow consistently over the foreseeable future as a professional PPP institution and provide more transparency, better facilitation to valued investors, and ultimately complement more to national development targets by implementing strategic project and priority sectors such as hydropower, transport, agriculture, ICT, mining and minerals, health and manufacturing sectors. I would like to take this opportunity to express sincere appreciation on behalf of the Office of the Investment Board to Right Honorable Prime Minister and all the board members for providing guidance in each stage of our progress. And I would like to thank our line agencies, CDOs of Project District Development Partners, namely FCDO, UNDP, JICA, development and financial institutions, ADB, World Bank, investors, private sector associations, experts, academicians, civil society, media, and each and every individual who has contributed to this institution over the last 12 years. And I would like to express thanks to former CEO of IBN, Mr. Radesh Panta, for his thematic presentation made today, highlighting the role of IBN and the way forward. Last but not the least, I would like to appreciate the efforts made by the OIBN team who have been working day in and out to make this event happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now, as we head towards concluding this celebration, may I request the CEO of the OIBN, Mr. Sushil Bhatta, to make a presentation of a token of appreciation and gratitude to our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mark this important celebration, a great milestone, we highlight the importance of sustained efforts to transform Nepal into a prosperous and vibrant investment destination. We remain steadfast in our commitment, and more than ever, to attracting new investments, nurturing existing ones, and creating an environment where businesses can thrive. Our journey has strengthened our belief that together we can steer Nepal towards a future of economic strength, innovation, and sustainability. Thank you all for joining us as we celebrate the 12th anniversary. We hope you all leave inspired and continue supporting the exciting journey of Nepal's growth. As we thank you all one more time, we announce, with permission from the distinguished dais, the close of the celebration program here at this very venue. Thank you all. Have an enjoyable day.